Welcome back to Goldenridge. Today we're leaving the big city behind to build a beachside vacation town tucked away in a rugged canyon, complete with custom apartments and a coastal highway. So, let's get to work. All right, so here we are. I think there were enough comments on the last video to imply people wanted to take a step out of the big city for a little bit. So we are gonna do that. I was looking at this cove, I think, for one little kind of resort or rural beach town, and then we also have this one up here. I love this one. The real problem is that the edge of the map is here. And we can put trees over there, but we cannot terraform, which means that I cannot get rid of this this kind of crazy looking island that I don't super love. I mean, I don't mind the island there. I just wish it wasn't quite so extreme, but it is what it is. That's all we got. So for now, I think we're gonna focus on this one, and it's gonna be interesting because it's very long and very narrow. So it's going to be a pretty unique looking area. It's going to probably end up feeling, whether intentionally or not, fairly European, kind of a Swiss, Austrian, German looking kind of thing. So that'll be kind of cool. But the first thing we need to do is figure out how people are going to get there. So we do have this road that we built a long time ago, this Willow Highway, which goes over our crazy bridge. Which is apparently the Onslow Bridge. And part of me was wondering if we kind of branch off of this and wrap around and come down, but that mountain is not looking very conducive to a road, and I want to try and be fairly realistic and fairly, respecting the topography, as they say. So the other place that seemed decent actually was back here. This actually looks, this kind of little canyon here is not too bad actually, and I think we could find a way to make that road work, but we do not have any road through here. This isn't exclusively train. And I do want there to be roads here at some point. So I think this will be a road, but I think for now, to start, since mostly people will be coming from the city, I think the best place is gonna be here. This is looking, we already got the Willow Highway here. We got a little intersection going up. This is pretty chill. And then all we have to do is find a way over this, which maybe is here, maybe. Or I was actually thinking of coming down around and giving ourselves a little coastal Highway 1 looking highway along the coast here, which I think is what we are going to do. So let's start over here, and we're going to get our 2-lane national road. We're going to keep our constant slope on, and we're going to go to a curved continuous curve, and then let's start drawing. So all right, so I think we're going to, let's turn on our topography lines, and then, yeah, let's just kind of start weaving our way up here, and just, let's see, we got about a 5% grade. I mean, this is going to be a fair, at points, this is going to be a steep road. It's just kind of is going to be. But let's kind of try to keep it a little, so 4% is fine. Yeah, 4 is good. And then let's see, we can also, carve in to, if we need to, a little bit. 6 is kind of good. This is where it's going to get interesting. I feel like we should maybe do a little bit of kind of not terraforming in a sense, but I think if they were building this road, they might blow a bit of this out, carve through that a little bit. So let's see, let's kind of start over here, and we can maybe, connect these two. So I think we'll kind of come around like this, and down here, And right about there. So this is already doing some carving for us. And let's see if now if we end up wanting to connect these, and there it is. Perfect. So that I think is great. That looks, I think, is a super realistic place that they would have, you know, blown through some of this mountainside to create a road. I feel like we've followed the contour of the roads really well. And then when it kind of got crazy, they got some dynamite. And then this is all working and looking pretty good. So now when it comes to here, I think the first thing I actually want to do is a lot of I went through and it fixed a lot of the stuff, but the edges on the water and a lot of this map, because it was a height map based off of some real stuff, that doesn't do a great job of taking, you know, coastline and stuff into effect. A lot of this stuff is looking a little weird. So I think if we just kind of get in here and smooth a bit of this down and kind of just work the coastline to feel a little better. And if you want to keep the cliffs, all you got to do, I think, at least, you know, I think if you just go along this edge here and bring that in, you can make the cliffs look quite a bit better, so that they're not just that straight flat. And also if you use one of these rougher brushes, that can help a little too. So I think I'm just going to go through all of this real quick. Not all of this, but for the relevant stuff for what we're doing today, and just try to fix up some of this coastline stuff so that it looks a little better. All right, I think that's looking a bit better. I mean, it doesn't look the most realistic, but it certainly is better, and we can touch that up in time if we feel like we need to. But let's get back to our road drawn. So I think, let's see. I kind of want to wrap this around, and we'll get like a little bridge going on here. So maybe we start there. And actually, let's start with something like an actual bridge, I think. Probably don't need anything like that. Maybe this probably... Oh, that's going to cut way in now into the... Problem with this bridge is that the pillars tend to kind of disrupt a lot of the... Let's see, 2-lane... one way, 3-lane, 1-way, 2-lane. That's what we want here. So I guess it's probably the vanilla. Now, is this just gonna, let's see. Oh, you know what? That's actually not messing up stuff too much at all. So that'll work. Let's see, there it is. Maybe when you move it around a little bit, it starts to. But if we put it in just kind of the right place. There. That I think is perfect, actually. So now, can you do this one on a curve? I can't imagine. Yeah, I didn't think so. That wouldn't make any sense. Okay, so now from here, let's go ahead and just kind of wrap this around. We're gonna do key wall on the right side and just kind of doing like this. And bring that in, and that should do pretty good. Get rid of the... Yeah, that I think works really well. Got a little bit of weirdness. I think that's putting in some of the, like, the land kind of stuff. Let's see. I feel like we shouldn't be getting that cement bit. Maybe we try a bridge section from here. Like that, and then we go into the regular section. And let's just lower this down a little bit so we can get rid of that hump. I don't mind if we're kind of going up to the bridge, but I don't want to have like a big weird kind of bump there. There we go. And let's get rid of these. And I think let's convert this section back to just having key walls on the coast side there like that. And there. So that's where that cement bit was coming from. So yeah, that I think will work. And let's just check out the slope on that. I think that's okay. Looks like we got a weird little bump in there, so we'll just kind of smooth that out maybe. A little bit smoother. That's fine, I think. Okay, let's carry on. So I think we're gonna mostly just kind of stick to the coast unless we feel like maybe get another bridge going in there. So coming off of this, I think we'll do a bridge section just to probably not that long though. So let's do like that, and then we'll convert this to having key walls on the left side this time. Yep, that's gonna work. And then we'll stick with the key wall on the left side and go back to our continuous slope. And just trying to see, might just keep that straight, although that's not obviously going to work, so we'll have to, maybe we're going to turn the key walls off and just let it do its own thing naturally here for a bit and see what it wants to do. So that's, I feel like just keeping it straight feels a little weird, but it is really kind of the best path. That's kind of going up pretty high. Come along here. Okay, so that's not bad. We just have to, we're just gonna have to work a little bit of this, the type of road we're getting here. So I want all of this to be a bridge, just little sections. So let's add, we're gonna have to add a bunch of nodes here. So we'll add a node about here. That one looks good. We'll add a node there. That one might be okay. And then we'll add a node here. And for this one, we'll put a node there. And right about there. So then the rest of these we can convert to bridge sections. So that one actually looks like it's good. Oh, but we want to convert this away from a bridge section. And then this to a bridge section, and this. And that, I think, will do it. And then let's get rid of these retaining walls. I think if we just do, yeah, just ground, force ground, that'll work. All right, so that I think is working for the most part. We can probably do a little bit of terraforming and just bring some of this up so that the key walls aren't quite as tall. Just kind of soften that a bit. That got looking a little weird. I don't know why they're so stuck on this. Maybe it's just the brush. But more like, bring that up more like that, I think is good. Was there any other sections that needed that? No, I don't think so. Okay. Let's take a look at this. So I want to make sure the elevation of this is actually looking a little funky. So let's just grab this one and that one. and that one, and go with like this elevation. Is that gonna? And we should bring, I guess, this up a bit. Just want to make sure this is looking as kind of smooth as we can get it. We're actually losing a lot. We're actually coming down a bit to meet that, so we can... Let's get those 3 at least kind of on the same height. And actually, let's just get all of these on the same height so that our slope can maybe start back there. There we go. And that's a bit of a... So now we'll use this to... Oop. We'll use this to be our... where our slope kind of starts going up there a little bit. All right, great. So then you're coming up there to the bridge, and coming along this coastal highway here, which I think is looking great. All right, so now the next thing I want to do is move all of these power lines. However, these power lines are, I believe, providing us with actual outside electricity, or we're selling outside electricity, because the dam that we haven't even really looked at, but that are kind of part of the default map here with this insane road that I said in the very beginning we would fix, and then I kind of totally forgot about it because we didn't end up really building anything out here. But this dam it's got some weird water stuff, but this dam there and this one, which are why this map is called Twin Dams, give us so much electricity that we've been selling it from the beginning. Not that it matters because we're not playing with money, but we had plenty of electricity. So I think let's just take a look at... So those I think are running to here. So yeah, that is connected to our city. So I'm going to pause it, and I think we're just going to take a lot of this underground. Certainly all of this. I don't think we need... Almost, yeah, let's just get rid of... Where is this go? Is all the way... Oh, I lost it. There it is. Oh, all the way to here. Interesting. What a crazy route. So we're just going to delete all that. And then to replace it, I wonder if we just don't just go right underwater. I don't really see why not. So let's delete this section. And we're just going to go like that. And just go straight through the bay or the ocean, whatever here, and like that. Really no reason not to do that. That shouldn't mess up any of our electricity. Looks like we still have power everywhere. Great. All right, so that's that. All right, but God, look how much better this valley looks without that. And this feels like the Marin Headlands big time. If you've ever been kind of north of San Francisco, that really feels like that. Just these kind of rolling hills by the coast like that. So that's great. This wraps around. We come out here. I don't love this straight stretch, but I think it's probably fine. All right. So before we bring this into town, let's get an idea of what we're going to do with town. So let's take a look at the topography here. So we've got this big slope. It's probably, I was going to say a little too big. Let's get some scale going with the road here. Always kind of helps realize how big things are. So maybe we just do kind of like a we'll get a beach going on for sure, but maybe we do kind of a cascading hill thing down. So let's do. I'm also trying to think we'll have a road that kind of cuts through all this, but what kind of road should that be? Should that be kind of a national road highway with stuff peeled off of it? Should it just be a main city block? I'm not sure yet. I'm leaning towards national road, kind of a country road, and then stuff kind of peeling off the side of it, but maybe not a lot of stuff zoned directly onto it. A little torn there, but so for now, I think let's get kind of our main road right around. This is going to be kind of the most popular part of town, so we're just going to go not like that at all. We'll get our curve and just going to bring this kind of wrapped around like that. And then we'll get a few smaller ones. Maybe we take actually one of these kind of going straight down. Maybe do about there. And then we can take a couple of smaller ones and wrap them around kind of like this to kind of give us this little beachside kind of. We can get a bunch of houses in here and some businesses and stuff, and a little steeper than I realized. This, I don't know, we'll try it. This layout may not actually work the way that I'm seeing it in my head, but we'll give it a shot. And then let's just smooth out. We're gonna go back to our default brush. And let's get some more power here and some size. Oh, again, wrong button. At least it didn't go quite as high as it did last time where we were way up in the sky. Let's actually try using our slope tool and see if that doesn't give us... I'm not on the slope tool. Let's try that again. There we go. Just smooth that out a bit. We are still getting some funk, but with some buildings that might be solved or not. It's hard to say. All right, and then I guess we just have this run right into that, and that's just kind of the in and out of town from this way. I think that will work fine. So I'm just gonna wrap around like that and right in. So that works. Let's see. Actually, look. What does our elevation on this look like? That looks like it's coming up a bit here. I wonder if we want to lower this just a little. I think that's a little better. I just want that to, because we're gonna see that road a bit from here, so I just want to make sure that isn't looking kind of weird. And then maybe we can actually bring this up a bit and that up a bit. Yeah, that's better. Okay. So the more I'm looking at this, the more I have concerns. What I was thinking though would be cool is there are these single I think they're technically they're row houses, I think. But let's see, I think are they southwest? They might actually be northeast. These. I think these would be really great little beachfront house. They're kind of small, but yeah, Maybe the front row should be some bigger houses, but I think these would be great to kind of line some of this. This, I think, is going to have to move back, though. Yikes. Interesting, dynamic, artsy, but we're gonna not have anything to do with that. All right, so let's actually look at, well, before we get into any building stuff, let's get our beach looking kind of right here. Just kind of want to smooth a bunch of this out. And then really kind of soften into this. All right, that's a little better. And let's just line that up. And then I think from here, smooth that out a little bit. I think we're going to take kind of a regular road, at least a little ways from our kind of main big intersection here. And I want to line this up right in the middle. And we'll take this a little ways, and maybe then we convert it back. That's probably a little too curved. Kind of want to do like a... We'll have the regular town going actually pretty... kind of gridded. Or not gritty, but gritty. Kind of through maybe about here. And we're just going to do like really kind of straightforward, this kind of thing. And we'll just kind of fill these in. And then we'll kind of have like a little town's end deal where this will convert to the national road and kind of get even more rural than the rest of this town. But so we've got a ways to go. Let's bring this a little farther with our grid, kind of like that, and then maybe there we'll convert it to this kind of national road that can kind of wiggle its way around, and ultimately I think we'll be at least having a connection up through this canyon. And then we also have to think about, like, there's a lot of mountain in between here and here. I don't know if that road is even gonna, I feel like it has to though. Like through here, we could have a lot of farmland in here. So that actually works. You could connect to that, and then maybe we, dare I say it, we try another tunnel here. Would maybe make sense. So that'll work. And then let's get back to this. Kind of get one more. I don't know why those are not connecting like that. It's kind of going over the top of it. Maybe it has something to do with the slope. I bet. Like that, and then kind of run these at some angles. Why is it? That is such a weird... Just jump in the... Maybe because these sides are angled, actually, I bet. All right, cool. And then can run a couple of alleyways down here. And so let's start with some larger homes. I think we're going to go up to the level 5 homes here. And just kind of throw some of these in. Maybe cut them off at a depth of 3 so we can get stuff behind. This slope idea is not working out as well as I thought it might. Yet we do not have any power. I'm going to pause it here. Well, we do have... Well, no, I was going to say we do have power, but I rerouted it. So we'll get that back in a second. But I'm just thinking... We're just going to have to, I think, move this a little bit and smooth some of that out. We might need to end up going only with these 3 deep. I think these are 4 deep. All right, I'm going to go through here and get this all sorted out, and then we'll take a check in here in a minute. All right, so we got our initial rows of houses down, and I think once I kind of got some trees in there to hide some of that jankiness of the backyards and some overlapping, it actually worked out a little better than I thought. So this is not the worst thing I've ever seen. High praise, I know. I know. But this road has been giving me some issues. But I think we're going to get a little weird with filling in like this area and this area. And so what I want to do is I'm actually going to get rid of all of this backyard business, at least on that side. And those might be fine there. But what I want to do is, and I don't really know how we're going to do this, but I wanted to create a bit of a platform. And I'm wondering if these pillars are going to be the way to do it. So what I want to do is I want to create a flat platform and then use the static ploppable zone buildings to put on top of it, like some apartment buildings and stuff. So I think these are going to be what we want. I wish there was something that was like wood, although it really wouldn't make as much sense. So I think we're gonna go with this, and let's try doing it with the line tool. So advanced line, we're gonna need to make these really close. And it's not bad, actually. Obviously, we'll raise them all up so they're even. Let's try that. Let's just see what happens. So I guess these probably count as buildings. No, they don't. Props? Yes. Okay. It's actually probably better so we're not grabbing any of the buildings. And then object height on the first one, and that's not bad, actually. So let's bring it down to kind of street level here. And let's get a little rotation in. I guess we can kind of put it there. That is actually not bad. So then what I was going to do, there's still some more other stuff to do here, but let's see. Residential, mixed residential, commercial. I kind of wanted to like throw something like this, you know, up there. That's not bad. That is what I had in mind ish. And we can just push this over to the side there, and then we can probably pretend we'll sneak in some fake parking in the background. That's not bad. I had no idea how this was going to go, but that is actually working fairly well. Let's try again over here. So we're gonna do props, and there's a wider one for this, which will be nice. We can get a little more space going on. So we'll get that in about there, and then we'll just grab all these. Object height, boom. And we can overlay them a little, not quite so much. But yeah, right around there. Bring it down to street level. And then let's do a few more, because I want to see if we can't fill in some of this. Maybe maybe kind of going the other way. Maybe we'll grab a shorter one. Maybe even a shorter one. Maybe like there. And then we can kind of grab all of them. They're all going to be... We want them all at the same height anyway. Object height, boom. But then for these... Let's see if we can't kind of find a way to maybe like that, and then that'll work, I think. And then trying to see what kind of... Oh yeah, that's kind of a nice retro looking building. Kind of line that up right about there. Let's see, we bring this up a little bit. Or actually, maybe we bring it down and we can kind of... No, let's keep it up. We'll find another way. Yeah, we're going to want that. All right, so that works. This can kind of be a parking lot. Now the question is, how do we fill that up? I mean, I guess we could use just pillars, but it feels like it should be... I mean, we could stack a bunch of these. I don't think this is going to do us any good because there's no vertical distribution. We would have to do this by hand. Pillars would certainly be a thing. I wonder if just between pillars and trees and stuff that That I think is going to, I'm assuming that's going to push the ground down with it. Yeah. Is any of that stuff in here? I don't think any of that stuff is. Networks. I wonder if we can use something. Something like that would be nice, but can we, let's just try. I don't think this is going to work. Although, it might actually. I mean, that actually looks great. And we might, this is the problem here, but we might just be able to cover that up. And then I think what we'll actually do too is if we're going to do that, we can replace these with some longer ones. I think we're going to do that. That works. Let's see. Let's try some of this tree shenanigans and see if we can't. I mean, that we don't really need to hide. It's more like this side. I mean, that looks pretty hidden to me. We get some smaller stuff kind of down at the base of this just to... But let's see if we can hide this part. Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's where you want to be. That is where you want to be. Sweet. All right, let's what about this one? That, I think that building we used last time is going to be a little too big. But this one might not be. Let's see. Can lightning strike twice? No props. Just this guy. There we go. And bring it down and forward. A little tougher over here. I wonder if we... I bet we can hide that. Trees have always been the unsung hero of detailing and you know, hiding weird stuff in this game, but they are really putting in the work with this, because I think if we just... I mean, come on. Done. Done! And we can just kind of get some bush stuff at the base of this. And oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's get rid of... Actually, let's just move it. This one tree. Yeah. I mean, that's a done deal. Like... Awesome. All right, let's go through and let's get some retail in here. Along, you know, kind of some shots. It's probably going to go real heavy on the leisure right away. There's no, because we're going to want, this is going to be resort town, fancy spot. We'll go with bar right here. More kind of restaurant stuff. Well, I think I grabbed the wrong version of at least one of those. I don't know if there's a way to... Oh. There we go. Okay, so... Oh, and that's what we don't want, though. We want the real versions. So just make sure it doesn't have the purple bit on it. So, okay. Yeah, so we'll go with little curbside. And a restaurant in there. And another cafe here. And it's the one we just used. That's the movie theater, which I don't think we want. Oh yeah, a little gelato place. I'd almost wonder if we want to stick one of, like that guy down on the beach. No, wrong version of it though. Yeah, get that guy down on the beach. And the Riverside Grill, probably. I wonder if we put the Riverside Grill like up, kind of on a little lookout spot up there. Or maybe we do that with the Oasis Kitchen. That could be cool too. Let's just set those there for the moment. We'll come back. Gotta have the lobster tail. Maybe that can be another kind of beach thing. I know there's a bunch of houses down here, but I think we'll have like a little hub down here. Plenty of places where there's, you know, homes, real nice homes right next to the water, but also right next to, you know, restaurants and stuff. Brewery, gotta have it right here on the way in. So yeah, I mean, I think this is working pretty well here. Little corner restaurants, and not seeing much traffic yet. Let's check the road. So no big, looks like we've got some service vehicles going in and out from our restaurants, but no one essentially is. Oh, we got police are roaming. Oh, is there no residents? Okay, so no one has moved in as of yet, but we should see some activity here sooner than later. I think that might be everything we're going to use out of the leisure pack, even though we basically used a ton of it. What actually, is that a museum? This is the museum. We never actually used this in our city. That feels like a Southern California thing, though. I think that'll work really well for that. All right, so let's. Can probably worry about lining all this stuff up afterwards. Let's get ourselves an actual beach, though. So, yeah, I think we'll have a couple of restaurants down here on the beach, and then at the end of our road here, we probably do like a little parking area, something like this. Oh, that was the alley, which is not actually what I wanted or what I meant to click, but I think that's actually going to be pretty good. So we get that in, and then I wonder how much this is if we run a road from here, if that's going to really break this up weird, or if that's going to be okay. Well, at least with the alley, that's going to make it pretty weird. Maybe if this is an alley, less weird? No. So let's just do it. We'll just kind of do it like this. I think that'll be fine. And then for the restaurants, this guy tucked up there. And let's see, I wonder if there's a way to. I feel like these guys should be facing out a bit. Let's actually maybe switch sides here. And maybe this guy actually goes that way. That's not quite fitting. What side of this is the road side? It's that side, isn't it? So can we fake this like that? Or that's not working either. Oh, yes it is. But that's not. So let's do this. Let's put it like that, and then we'll just take a little alleyway and just go like that. And that, I think, will work. Yep, there we go. Just feel like if you're going to sit on the deck of this, you should be facing the water. And then this wasn't quite working. I was trying to do the same thing with this, like this little seating area here. Maybe we just put this one at a bit of an angle. Like that. Does that look weird? A little. Let's extend our beach a little more. Now that we've kind of eaten up a little bit of it with some leisure spots. And then we'll smooth that out. And then let's look at the textures here. So some of these sand ones get really like bright. That doesn't look too bad though. I like the little ripples in it. I think this was the one, the white sand beach. I don't like the color of these ones though. They're a little too warm. I wonder if it was just the way the light was hitting it. This one actually doesn't look so bad now. And it feels like the right color. Let's try with the dark one though and just see how it feels. So we'll go, let's see, from here, I guess probably kind of like that-ish. And we'll keep that inner spot, make that like a little... I think that works pretty good. And then, yeah, we'll take this and keep it with some grass texture and just kind of make it a little grassy area. Some landscaping. All right, I'm going to go through and detail a bit of stuff, maybe drop in some more houses and just get this to a place where it's feeling complete, not complete, but you know, it's in a good spot. This is taking a little longer than I thought, so it's probably all we're going to get to today. We're not going to quite finish this, I think, today, but I do want to get it feeling a little more complete. I am surprised. Oh, right as I said it, I was going to say I'm surprised nobody has moved in yet. And there is our first, oh, and a second car. Oh, and here they come. Let's get the trees out of their way. The residents are finally coming. Awesome. Oh, and there it is. So there it is. There's that weird light, but I think that's only if you're like at a low level. All right, people, we're getting some activity. People are moving in. Okay, I'm gonna go through here and clean some stuff up. All right, so we got a bit of homes in here. Got schools and hospitals and fire and police, and we got a hotel. Actually, have 2 hotels. I tucked the other one here, and then you'll see that I used some of the default vanilla buildings, homes, especially the beach ones, and then some of these more modern kind of bungalow looking ones that I think actually work really well for a beach town. But right before the time lapse, I was like, oh look, we're getting our first cars moving in. But I was wrong, because we have 3 households, 6 people, and 1 dog. So no one is moving in. I think we have a lot of people working at this 300 or something employees. So I think that's what some of that traffic was from. But no one is actually moving in yet. And I wonder why. But we'll see if that changes over time, or if we need to make some adjustments somewhere. So yeah, but I got a little very, very light detailing down here but I think we'll save detailing for another time, but overall. But what I do want to do, the final thing here, is look at detailing for our 2 kind of apartment complexes. We actually may end up with another one over here. I'm going to end up actually I was going to fill this hole in, but it actually kind of looks like if we get rid of these fences, it actually kind of looks like a sunken or underground garage. So I am really liking that. So we're going to leave that. And then over here, this is all looking great, but I do think we need some sort of, I wanted to make this like parking or something. And I tried putting the fences on it, but they don't work. They sink back down to the ground. So I think what we'll try to do is, let's see, I guess we could, I didn't even think about this until right now, is maybe using the fence props will probably be the thing to do. I can't believe I didn't think of that until right this second. That should work pretty well, actually. So yeah, something like that, or that might be the one. Could go with something higher like this, but I feel like people might want to see something like that. Actually, I think will work. So let's go ahead over here, and we'll use fence mode, and make sure that these are where they should be here. And oh, those are on the ground. So same problem we had before. So I guess maybe we just do this. It's not ideal, but I think we can use the palette thing here and stick with keeping them this color. And yeah, this is, I think, going to be the move, because it's not like there's not a ton of these. It's not going to go on. These are lined up, right? Yeah. We don't have a whole lot of this to do. So I think really just doing these here on this edge will be totally worth it. So let's get those in there and over like that, and put that one in there. And then on this side, it's a little long, but we can make that just kind of pretend for that one, and get these going in there. So that, yeah, I mean, that's plenty. And then I wanted to get some cars parked back here, just to kind of sell this as a residential platform. So we can just get some cars in there. And I mean, that goes such a long way to making this look way more like the kind of, big kind of platform that it is. So that works great. And then I also wanted to drop in some like trash can, like the community kind of bigger trash cans like these. Thought this would be a good place for that. Yeah, like that kind of, I think that reads pretty good. Yeah, I mean that's really about all I had in mind. I don't think, if the fences weren't working up here, I don't think any of these lines are going to work either. Although I wonder if the decal ones will. They do not. So that's okay. But let's also do... So let's fill in some of this stuff with just some bushes as we do. And we're just going to kind of fill that in. And this was the fence I was trying to put up there that just did not work. I think we can fill this in with bushes and trees as well. And with this little curb, I'm actually going to bring the road up, because if I bring one of those down, I'm going to have to bring all of our cement platforms down, and I don't want to deal with that. So let's also get the fence on this side. I think it was this one. No, was it? There we go, that one. So this is just kind of the driveway. And I think I think I've talked myself into doing more of this kind of build your own platform thing, because this actually looks really great. And I think it's you know, it's too bad there's not better mechanics for this kind of stuff, you know, built into the game, because it feels very much like the way it probably should be. And we'll get some people here who pay premium for front of the building parking. And then trying to think what else we want to do here. I don't know if surfaces will work. I'm gonna assume they won't. I mean, I kind of know they won't, because they stick to the ground even when it's not even. And other decals, I guess, don't work on this either. So we don't have a ton of options for decor. If anybody, you know, has any other insights on how to better decorate this kind of stuff, certainly let me know. But I think what we'll end up doing is just some of this. Just kind of going. Yeah, that at least gives you a little semblance of something there. But yeah, that, I think that's great. And back here, I mean, that looks great back here. Not ideal home locations for these folks, but you know, you get what you get. And you got a beach house in a really nice little town here. So I don't want to hear it from them. They're doing just fine. Yeah, I mean, this is not the most ideal thing ever, but it's kind of my first little dive into doing this kind of stuff. And I think, you know, it'd be a great way to avoid kind of what I'm filling in now. You know, these probably should be that kind of stuff too. At some point, we'll have to try somewhere that's built on a hill, and we can kind of. The only problem is when you entirely use those, you don't get the functionality though. I wonder if there are those. Forget what they're called. These service blocks. I don't know if we have those for residential. So if we did, we could drop a bunch in, but All right, so then for this one, we're gonna do something similar. Go fencing. Maybe we use a different one, kind of this more industrial fence. We'll stick with the white, I think. And we can just drop these in like that. And get rid of some of these fences that are clipping here in this little play set. And then on the back, we'll probably end up putting this tree back, but or maybe not actually. But the fences will kind of clip on top of them using I'm actually sure what it's called, this snap to the surface. So without them, they snap to the surface. So for this, let's use a different kind of a wooden fence here. I think we're still going to stick with the same color scheme though. This is a little more modern building. This feels like when it's white, like a little more modern fence. So this one actually has garage doors in the back. So it might be kind of, we're actually not going to have parking back here, but I think that's okay. I think just having the fences help. We'll do some parking up front here, but I think the fences are enough to imply that, that's drivable. So let's see, I think we'll do just some cars out here. So that I think will work, and I think there's garages. Oh, I guess not. We could do some parking here in the front, some exclusive resident parking. There's a garage there. I think that works though. Let's also bring the street up just a little bit to cover that. Just one will do, and then we'll get some fencing here, and I think that'll mostly call it a day. So thank you everyone, as always, for watching. Thanks for kind of letting me know what you guys want to see this time with this kind of, little oceanside remote kind of town. And yeah, we'll come back to this spot next time and continue to detail it up and get it fleshed out, and hopefully by then I'll let the simulation run a bit, and hopefully we'll get some people moving in, and if not, we'll see what we can do. All right, so yeah, anyway, everyone, thanks so much, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one. Bye.